Hey beautiful, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, hi, my name is Alexisjayda and welcome. So today's video I'm going to be doing a get ready with me style, but we are going to be doing my pelo. It's time for something new, so I wanted to try magenta. So I got the highlight colors from L'Oreal, and I thought it'd be really cool to do like my hair and do a get ready with me cheese miad. I just got this today at Walmart. It's so freaking cute. Do I need it? No. But my kids broke my glass one that I got from David's Tea, and I was like, oh, now I need another one because it's y'all's fault. So I'm gonna do my hair. I got a cute little like whisk. Do I need it? No, but I'm freaking terrible. I just want to cheese me out and sit back with you guys, talk with you guys. I feel like it's been a good minute. So let's get into it. We're gonna be doing a question and answer video. So I got some questions that I want to answer that you guys have sent me in, so I'm so excited. So sit back, relax, let me know what you guys are doing, if you guys are cooking. Ooh, and you guys, I'm so excited. I have a video that I'm currently still editing, and it is kind of like a day in the life of mama of 6 kids, how my days usually go. I don't know what to name it. Please help me name it down below. I love when you guys help me out with the title. Sometimes you guys are like, hey Lex, you should have named the title of this, and I'm like, ooh, good one. All right, I'm gonna go and change that. So I really appreciate you guys so freaking much. So sometimes if you guys see the titles changing, it's because most likely you guys were like, I got one better, Lex, do this. And so I'm like, all right. I got it, let's do it. So if you guys can help me out with that, pretty much it's just like my daily routine, and I'm so freaking excited. It's taken me quite some time because I feel like I'm overthinking it, and I'm like, I want it to be perfect, but my life isn't perfect. So just help me out with the title. I really appreciate it. So let me know what you guys are doing. If you guys are cooking, cleaning, if you guys are just chilling, if you guys are driving somewhere, let your girl know down below. I would greatly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button. It really does help me out. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. So let's get into the pelo section, and I'm just going to be answering questions and doing my hair. Everything I will be using will be linked down below. We're gonna go from this to this. Ooh, I love how it came out. Okay, now let's get back to the question and answers. And boom, we're here. This is how the hair is looking. I gotta get my tiptoes. Oh, it's not looking good. I'm kind of nervous going red, actually. Ooh, I need Vaseline, hold on. First question, how do you think your childhood affects your parenting? Ooh, that's a good question. Sometimes I feel like I can be too lenient and let the kids walk over me because I feel like I don't want them to hate me, or I don't want them to think I'm a mean mom, or I just feel like, oh, maybe I am too harsh, but in reality I'm really not, and they are very lucky that they get away with a lot of things that they do. And thank goodness for my husband, because he helps me a lot and like lets me know like, hey, it's different. The way you had to do things is a lot different than how we have to do things because we're here. What does a typical day for you look like? It is, for my chill days, we're pretty much just home. Don't really have to worry about leaving the house or going anywhere. But those are very like rare days because I feel like we constantly are doing something just because there's so many of us. And I'm really excited for you guys to see the day in my life because it really is like go, 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 go. And I'm actually really excited to let people who do get hurt when I can't message back right away, or I can't do this or I can't do that, like they can kind of get like a little peek inside of like why. And I'm not just being a bitch. I have 6 babies that need our attention, and we can't just, you know, just chill and do shit all the time. Or I can't just like reply back to like the message or be on the phone. I feel like when they were smaller, I was able to be on the phone a little bit longer, and now I feel like I can't because when they're too quiet, it's like scary. I think I'm only gonna need 2 of the magenta, but the lady at the thing was like, no, I think you'll need, there's 4. I think you'll need 3, but I think she just honestly wanted me to buy another one. How are you dealing with your anxiety and mental health issues? I'm getting bad. So I feel like mine come in waves. Sometimes I can be like, oh, and I can feel it coming on. Sometimes like a cold, and I'm like, okay, like it's gonna be okay. This is what I have to do. Make sure that I still do this, make sure that I still do that, because it's very easy for you to kind of like, well, me, to kind of just get back into that like, oh, I don't want to do anything. So sometimes I have to like trick myself into just doing it, because like doing productive stuff, because if I allow myself, I will let myself get really bad and just get really sad and get into these like really bad like sad thoughts and all of it, and I really hate it. I feel like when I get lost in my mind, it's like really hard to kind of come out of, because I can be my worst enemy, and no one's gonna tell me something that I haven't already told myself. So in a messed up way, I get really toxic with myself. So to prevent that, if I can catch it in time, I will try and be productive and get out and get fresh air, even if it means going to the Dollar Tree and not getting anything, going to Ulta just to look at makeup, going to Target with my husband just to walk around with him and hold his hand. Things like that do help me. Doing something fun with the kids, watching a movie with the kids. Sometimes it could be like, oh my god, just like be happy. It's very hard to just be like, oh my god, be happy. But what has helped is not being around as many toxic people. And I say as many because I do still talk to some people that aren't good for me, but it's not as much as it used to be before. How do family members feel about your story times? I get a little bit of mixed of everything. Sometimes I feel like some family members try and watch what they say around me because they don't want to be in a story time, or they'll make their stupid jokes of, and this better not be a story time, or you know, that kind of stuff. And then same thing, I just don't talk to them as often or try not to have them around as often. It can be sometimes like annoying, and sometimes it's a little bit of mixture of everything. It's a little bit of mixture of both, where it's like it could be really good and we're just chilling, whatever, or it could be they have their little comments of, well, I would never put family on blast, or I'm not that type of family member, and you're just literally sitting there like, you know, it's just one of those awkward things. Or they intentionally try and stir the pot even more, and I don't understand it, because it's always the people who always have rocks and stones and things to say that are the most scared to, they hate confrontation. So I really hate that. And then there's the side that are very supportive and very like, oh my god, I'm so happy for you, and you have a platform that you can talk, you know, and have other people who can understand, because they, you know, they couldn't understand what I was going through, so they're just very happy for me. So it's a good mixture of, I don't want to say good because I don't like the other part, but it's a mixture of both. I wonder how it's going to turn out. I'm like super duper nervous. I don't think I've done red in forever, since I was like young. Yeah, I'm gonna need to go on with another one, you guys. Good thing I did get 3. She was right. I'm nervous, but we're already too far deep in it. She's not going back. She's not going back. We want this bitch marinated. I love you too, baby. All right, so we're gonna let the hair chill for a little bit, and then let it be back. Okay, so here is how it looks after I've dried it. I think it looks really, really nice. It's not too red. I was kind of scared that it was gonna be like a fire red, but I'm glad that it came out like a magenta red. Hence the name magenta. But let's see. Boom. Alrighty, and this is how it looks. You guys, I really love how it came out. Let me do this. I did my eyebrows real quick. This is the color. I really like how it looks. Okay, I was really nervous. I was really, really nervous. but it came out the color that I wanted. It's a whole day later, you guys. Did you ever think about harming yourself? Yes, I did on multiple occasions, and it is not something that I am proud of. I was hurting, and if that is something that you do, please seek help. Please find somebody that can help you, that you can speak to. I'll leave hotline numbers that you guys can call. Yes, I did. To keep it very short and simple. You seem busy a lot. How do you and Rudy find time alone? So when we have to run errands, whether to be grocery shopping, if there is time for me to go with him, we will spend time that way. I feel like we get really confused sometimes when we think that like, oh, we need to go on a date. Like we have to, it's just me and you. It doesn't necessarily have to be that. I feel like any time together is quality time. And if me and him can go grocery shopping together, that's a date to me. That's a date. Especially if we go to Sam's Club, we can sit down and we can get a pizza and we can just cheese me out and talk and be in each other's company. That to me is a date. I feel like some really think that a date really needs to be like a whole thing. Of course, we have nights like that as well, but I don't feel like it's necessary to chalk it up as those are the only dates to count, you know? And then alone time will be as well, like where I'm like in the kitchen and I'll text him like, hey babe, I'm gonna put on a movie while I cook dinner. Do you want to spend time with me? And he'll come downstairs and we'll just sit there. So I feel like, you know, quality time like that, or when the babies are sleeping, we will go downstairs, watch something together. Like I said, when we have to run errands and stuff. But we've always made it very important in our relationship to have that quality time together, even if it's running an errand, being in the room with the door closed and watching a movie together and making babies. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. What's the most hood rat shit you ever done? I have done quite a few. I'm not sure that I can share. I know that's so lame, huh? Like, why would you read the question? But I feel like there's been a lot where I have done where I'm like, is there statutes of limitations? Because, you know, I'm just scared. Now I feel like I'm so scared to like say certain things where I'm like, oh my goodness, like there's consequences, you know, even though I did them as a child, I'm like, there's consequences. But there is things where I look back and I'm like, where was your mother? In jail. But still, what I am very like, I was talking to my brother Manuel the other day and we were talking about certain things that I would do, and he was just like looking at me and he was just like, that's so crazy that you thought so much when you were young and where I am now, especially with my kids. And he just made a comment like, what happened to like, why am I so scared of everything now, you know? So yes, there has been a lot, but I don't think I can share. I don't know. I gotta check on that because I have like, and there's just things I'm not proud of either. You know what I'm saying? Would you take pole dancing lessons to blow Rudy's? Yeah, I would. Hell yeah. Hell yes. I was supposed to take classes with my friend, but we just haven't gotten around to it. Hell yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine just coming down from the pole looking all like scrumptious and like, ooh, workout and really like sexy? How does one get over their baby daddy or learn that it's time to leave the situation? Trying to help my sister. It's complicated for every individual who is going through it. You can literally have a handbook and tell somebody, this is what you need to do. Here you go. Do it. This is what you need to do. You know, or that famous line of, I would never tolerate that. Yeah, you never would, but we're not the same. So we just have to be patient and be there if you can, because it becomes very draining as well. Being on the other side, I've been on both. It's very draining, but just let them know. There's times where like, oh, you know, this video, maybe I'll help you. Send you this video. Oh, I saw this quote. Hey, maybe this will help you. And just talking to them and letting them know that that's not something that you think is okay. Because I feel like when we kind of we stop telling people like, hey, this isn't okay, they start to think like, oh, okay, they stop complaining about it, so they must just think like this is normal. No, continue to be there, continue to advocate for them and be like, hey, this isn't okay, you know, that sort of thing, and let them know that they are worth so much more than what they're going through. Like so much more. You deserve better. It doesn't matter if it's because of this, it's because of that. You deserve so much better. So I would just be patient and just continue to be there for her if you can. If it interferes with your own mental and, you know, all that, then I would say you have to walk away. Because us as well, people, you guys, us, we have to know when to walk away too, when it just becomes too much. You can lead someone to water, but you can't make them drink it. Biggest regret, no regrets. I have quite a few regrets, but in a way I kind of don't. It's one of those things, like, you know how you say, I wish I knew what I knew. I wish I knew what I knew now back then, but in a way I kind of don't. Before I used to say it all the time, but now I'm like, no, because I wouldn't be where I'm at. And that would kind of be like a cheat sheet, right? And who's to say like I would be exactly, everything would be how it is now. I was talking to my son the other day because he was telling me that how come I don't want to get my cards read, or how come I, you know, kind of I'm like, I don't want to do that. And it could be because like how I was raised and how my mom always told me like it was a sin, and my grandmother as well. But I guess it's something that has always stuck with me, that my mom said, even though she got her cards read, there's sometimes when my mom said some things and I'm like, okay, like, you know, that makes sense, or like it makes sense to me, right? So my mom told me God wouldn't want you to know everything that's going to be happening. Like he doesn't want you to know that you're going to get A, B, and C. He doesn't want you to get the cheat sheet for it, because you won't be able to learn the lessons going up to it. So if we get the cheat sheet and we know what's to come, then we skip, and we're supposed to get like A1, A2, A3, A4, right? We're supposed to still go through all of those, but instead, if we get the cheat sheet, we just go zoom, hop, A, B, C. And you miss the in-between lessons that you have to learn, things that you have to go through, and the outcome won't be the same. So I kind of see it as well, like as ingredients, when you're mixing like a cake together, let's say, and it says that you have to mix all the ingredients and then you put it in the oven and then take it out. I feel like if we rush through it, it sounds like kind of explained to my son. If you rush through it, we're just gonna dump all the ingredients in the pan, crack everything, leave the shells, all of that. We're not gonna even mix, and we're just gonna shove it in the oven. And we didn't pay attention to those little lessons that we had to do. Crack the egg, we have to mix, we have to add the butter, all those little things are important to get the beautiful cake, right? So I think that has like stuck with me and like that. So I don't really have many regrets. There's a lot of times where I'm like, I wish that wouldn't have happened, but maybe in a mess up way it had to happen so that I could be where I am now and be more cautious of certain situations. Because we can sit here and be like, well, I'm sure you didn't want this to happen. Yes, I know, but I'm saying about the things, maybe certain things did have to happen and it's like messed up. Like we see it in movies all the time where it's like, don't mess with time because they will change this and they won't change that. You know, maybe it's one of those things too where it's like a long-winded explanation. I wouldn't want to change anything, and there's not really regrets that I really do have. As I get older, I'm like, it had to happen because I'm stubborn. It had to happen because of this, or it had to happen because it had to happen to me because I wouldn't want it to happen to somebody else. It had to happen. There's things that we can prevent now because we have those wisdom. We have that wisdom of what we went through. Do you still have the? Yes, we do. So there's been times where I do film in another location so I can talk to you guys about it, but I feel like it's so like weird because I'm like, it's different when it's like a story time, right? And you can like talk about like, okay, like this and that, but I feel like it's different when I'm like giving you guys like all the like, okay, this is a sighting, this is a thing. And I think it's just me overthinking it. I'm gonna try and answer as many questions as I possibly can. That's for $1. Check out you guys' Walmart. Another baby soon with the face. What does that face mean? If you guys could please let me know down below. I'm gonna take it offensive. Not for this right now. For this one message I got where this girl got tagged in a video of mine and someone said, you look like her. And this bitch went like that. What does that mean? Does it mean like what I think it means? Like, ooh, is that what it means? Because that's rude. So what does it mean? And another time babies, no, I don't think so. There has been times where like me and babe play around and we're like, you know, but I don't think so. Nena was our miracle baby. And I don't know, because Jay también bien celosa. Like, she is so jealous. Like, y'all don't even understand how jealous my baby is. Like, no. Can you imagine? Like, what if we have another little girl and the little girl wants to be hugging up on Rudy or something on her dad? And Jade, no. Jade will not have it. Whenever you make your story times, does it ever give you anxiety? Because I want to spill all the shit I've gone through, but I get anxiety. Yes. Sometimes it can be very emotional for me, especially if it does bring up a certain topic, or just even hearing yourself relive things as a child. It can be very like, oh my God. But if that is something that you do want to do and you do want to share, then do it. Thank you. But at the same time, please do not do it if it is going to take like a real big toll on your mental, because it can be very triggering. Have you ever had a dry spell, like not wanting to have sex? I feel like that is very normal. Yes, there has been times where I feel like sometimes I'm like, oh, like overstimulated, and I'm like, oh, I can't, like it's just like I'm too much in my head. But I feel like what helps me get over it is when I just kind of need like just like some me time and like some self-pampering. I don't know what it is when I get to like exfoliating, like taking care of the business and stuff, you know, doing all like this and that, and I'm just like, ooh, like I feel good, like I want him to lick me, like, you know what I mean? I feel like it is, I think that's when like I get those like dry spells when I don't feel like at my best. So like when I like, you know, take care of myself, then like it's like a good pick me up for me. You know what I'm saying? Did you ever get down with the ex's mom? No, but I wish I would. I wish I would. She old, crusty, dusty, and musty. Would it be fair? Would it be fair? When are we gonna get the story time of when you left your ex? I can give you guys that story time whenever, but it won't be in order with the nanny series. Now, if that's okay, let your girl know. I know I have asked in the past and you guys have said no, like I need it in order, don't ruin it. So let me know, because we are still like a ways to go. It hasn't even got close to the ugly part yet. And I do have like a kind of like a little summary, not that much detailed story time of when I did leave him, but it doesn't give you like the whole backstory. So I can leave that video down below if you are curious. How do you display discipline with your kids? You always look like you have your house on lock. Thank you for the compliment. Thank you very much. But it is hard. When I tell you these babies test me and test me time and time. I'm very pick your battles, and I feel like I'm a very lenient mother, but I feel like my kids know too. They are a reflection of their mama and their dad. And I feel like where we have been around kids who are some like, you know those kids where it's like, where is your mother? Like that. And my kids would just look at me and be like, Mom, did you see that? Ooh, I can't believe. And I'm like, and that's why you guys don't, you know, this and that. And so I use it as a teaching moment, you know. But for the times that they do act up and they want to get disrespectful, because they're kids at the end of the day. Yeah, they're kids. They're gonna test the waters. I think what helps is I really do talk to them a lot. And I know they get really upset sometimes when I talk to them, because they're like, Mom, no, Mom, come on. Because I will, you know, sit on their bed and be like, all right, we're going to talk about it. Like, that's not okay. That's what helps too. And they know like, okay, like, you know, this doesn't really look right, or they wouldn't want someone to comment on how they act or anything like that. Just communication, I think, really does help. Letting them know like, hey, I'm here, let's talk about anything, but at the same time, I'm your mother and you are my child and you are going to be respectful. I do got some really good babies. So thank you. Boyfriend, 11 years, 2 kids, still no ring. He says it will happen after we buy a house. Thoughts? I'm upset. If he wanted to, love, he would. If he is still being like, nope until this, nope until this, I'm going to tell you something very honest, and I hope you can understand where I'm coming from and know that it comes from a place of in here. Like I said, if he wanted to, he would. When a man wants to do something, he will. The same thing with the woman. If she wanted something, she would, you know? And if I feel like guys or women, you know, when they set up time frames for certain things, I feel like they really are just seeing how much they can get away with and how much you will allow them to hold, like how much you allow them to like keep stringing you along. Now, I feel like this is such a like a touchy topic for a lot of people because they are like, no, people just need their time. Yeah, go ahead, take your time. But doesn't mean if you take all that time that that person still wants to do it. Now, is it gonna feel like it's coming from a genuine place, or are you gonna be like, oh, it's only because like you had told me this was gonna be the date and now you feel like you have to? Do you know what I mean? It feels like if he really wanted to, he would have already. Because like, oh, you want to buy a house? Like, what's stopping you? You guys can like go and get married right now. You don't need a big wedding right now. You can be like, okay, we can do it later. Whatever, right? You have every right to be upset because 11 years is a long time. Some people are like, a marriage, just because he loves you doesn't mean that he needs to get married, and that does. But everyone has different beliefs, and it's up to you on what you think. Do you feel like, okay, I've already given him 11 years. I deserve to have the ring. Okay, you know, express your feelings. Everyone's different. So everyone's going to have different standards, and different things are going to mean different things to them. Let that person know, hey, this is what I want. This is da 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 da. And they can either respect it, or they can tell you, okay, well, I'm not ready. And you might be like, oh, it's not right to force someone to just marry you because you want that. You're right. And it's not okay to force someone to, you know, want to stay with you because of this and that. So it's really up to you. I don't really know what to say in these situations. There is a couple people close to me that I have seen it gone two ways, where they think just because they have 3 kids together that they need to be married. And he has told her, like, you know, after we have all our kids, maybe like, let's have all these babies and then we can get married. And she's like, okay. She waited, and it's like 13 years now, and now they're married. And there's days where she's, you know, happy about it, and there's days where she's like, I don't feel like it's genuine. I have another friend where, yeah, she's constantly having to bring it up, like, are we gonna get married? Are we gonna get married? Are we gonna get married? He says, yeah, I just need time. I don't know what happened or what, but she said, and she didn't want to wait. She didn't need time because she said that she knew that she wanted to marry him. She moved on. It's been a couple months. She's already engaged, and she is pregnant to have another baby. So what one man won't do, another will. So if that is something that it is a deal breaker for you, and you're like, nope, I need to get married, then you know what you need to do. I feel like a lot of the times when we ask these kind of questions, I feel like we already know the answer, you know, in your heart. So I think it's up to you. Do you love this man enough to be okay with just still not being married? Are you okay with moving on? It's a very tough question that we have to ask ourselves. And sometimes it's like, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. But sometimes it is. Not a question, but he gets mad at me if I don't, and ask me what's wrong with me. What's wrong with him? What's wrong with him? Excuse me, what's wrong with you? Not you, ma'am, him. So, maybe he ain't doing something right. It could also be the position that you're in. It can also be if there's like any tension and you already feel like, oh my God, the pressure, because he's gonna be like, why didn't you? So that can be a total turn off and put too much pressure on our lady bits. It's a mental thing. It's not just like a sexual, like just touch me here and I'm gonna, it's not one of those things. Sometimes it is we are emotional creatures. And so it could be that. Maybe you need more foreplay in the game before you even get to going. Maybe you need to work with yourself before you and him get to it. So for him to say, what's wrong with you? Maybe it's you. And maybe you should say that. Maybe it's you. Or tell him, it's too much pressure. Or you ain't hitting it right. You know, you can say it in a nice way. You can say it in a loving way. of like, maybe we just gotta do something different, or let's try this. Try the pillow technique. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the pillow technique never fails. So don't let him talk to you like that. What the fuck? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? What is your #1 red flag for when a friendship starts? When you start comparing, or they start comparing. For you, but not for me, you know, that. Or you tend to share secrets or share something and you hear it through the grapevine from somebody else. Or if your energy is not even right after you leave this person and you guys go on your merry way and you feel down, I feel like that's a huge red flag. And don't ignore that, because I feel like that is our body telling us like, hey, something's not right. And 9 times out of 10, yeah, when they have time to talk your fucking ear off about this, that, Johnny, Billy, this person, that person, and then when you call on them, they can't make time because this and this and this and this, but you always make time and you're right there front and center for them all the time. Red flag. Who initiates sexy time, you or hubby? I feel like both. I am a freaking rabbit. Okay, like, let's get to hippity hoppity. Let's do it. I'm very attracted to my husband, so I feel like that's another reason too, where it's just like I could just look at this man. Like, have you ever loved someone so much you love their scent, where it's just like they don't even smell musty to you, like they just smell good, like good. Ever want to lick someone's side of their face, their throat down to their lips? Yeah, okay, it's bad. I got a bad for him, like bad. Did you ever get lip fillers again? No, it was just a one-time thing. Didn't like it. I like to smack my lips. What happened to your dad? I never knew my father. How do you deal with toxic two-faced in-laws? Don't keep them around. Ain't nobody got time for that. Don't keep them around. Don't keep them around. Stop going out of your way to try and make something work if you're the only one trying. They're toxic. Keep them away. Keep them away. Like, okay, you don't gotta come around. I feel like we tend to like think that we have to keep people around because, oh, you're this person and you're this person in the family. No. If you're not gonna act right and you're gonna be disrespectful, ugly, and gross, go sit over there. Go sit over there. You're not sitting over here at my table. No, if you're not helping me build this table so we can all like cheese me out and sit here and have good vibes and all that, get the fuck out. Go sit over there in your high chair and keep it like that. Don't go wishy-washy back and forth. No. Keep it like that, because people tend to like see what they can get away with and see what you allow. That foundation looks really pretty, y'all. How do you manage to have sexy time with all the kids over? I love you. I love you too, girl. I love you too. So we don't do scheduled times. I know that works for a lot of people, but we don't do scheduled times. If we have already eaten and all that, or even if we haven't, I'm gonna give you an example. Everyone's sitting at the table and there's like a movie on. Okay, cool. I am going to go to the restroom and Dad is going to clean the room. And that could be one of the times. Mom is going to go edit. Dad's going to work out on me. It's just all in that. If the kids are playing video games, boom. If the kids are outside, boom. Mom's taking a shower, boom. Mom's folding clothes, boom. Mom's watching this scary movie, boom. Have the people from your story times ever apologized to you after seeing how effed up they were to you? P.S. I love you so much. I love you so much. Yes. But some of these sorries come with strings attached. I'm sorry, so do you think you can take down the video? Or, hey girl, yeah, like you want to take down the video now? Hey girl, yeah, we were all going through our own thing and it was like really messed up. You know, we live and we learn. Like, I got my karma. Hey girl, you think that you can take down that video? Like, it's just, you know, like everyone is just giving me such a hard time about it. Like, you know, I was such an a-hole back then. Hey girl, you want to square up? It's apologies, but not really apologies. Can you do this to make me feel better, please? Because why do I need to take down the video? I don't want to take down the video. Why should I have to take down the video? And the famous ones of, they try to make you feel bad about the video after you tell them, or you don't accept their apology, and I'm like, who does that? who like really posts like what happened? Like, you're pathetic. Like, what's going on with you? Like, who does that? Get out of my face. What does Sam think about Mr. Peach's weird comments and actions towards you? We have talked about that a few times, and a lot of things have happened since then. So it's just more of like things clicking and us remembering a lot of things that did take place that we buried. And it's just what the fuck, you know? Have you ever experimented with girls? I kissed a girl and I liked it. How do you guys have sexy time? I have 3 babies and we're lucky if we get it in twice a week. I always would try and get the babies down for nap time, stay up a little bit later when babe would have to go to work, and wake him up with a hello. What are we doing? Oh yeah, we're doing this. And hi. Or like I was telling you guys, like the shower, all of that. It's just having to find what works for you guys and actually trying to find like a good, okay, here, let's do this or let's do that. You know, I feel like we tend to give up right away because I feel like we get stressed out about it. But there's a way. There's a way. And it's even fun too to like find ways to be creative, because when me and my husband were in Texas for those 3 months, I found my ways. Even when we were visiting other family, I found my ways. Craziest thing to happen this past year that made you break character and pop off. Ooh, I feel like people really need to mind their business when you're shopping. So a little story time. I don't really like to break my character when I'm out with my babies, because I don't ever want them to be like, I'm traumatized. Why did you do that? You know? And I never want them to be scared. But there's sometimes where people will know that you don't want to hop off because you have your babies with you, so they would test you. So I was out with my son. We were grocery shopping. We get everything in the cart that we need. We are going to check out. So as we're checking out, there is a lady and she is behind my son. And we have everything already on the belt, and we can't, there's someone in front of us, so we can't go forward yet. My son is behind me, sort of, and me and him are talking, and I see him move forward. And I look at him, and I already knew she hit the back of his feet, right? I already knew. It's just one of those things where you're just like, certain, and you're like, ah, got it. So I look back, and she's just like looking at me. I hate when people just look at you. And for the longest, I'd be like, it's all in my head. But lately, since I've been hanging out with my brother a lot lately, he sees it. He's like, nah, you're not tripping. So anyways, I look at her, and I'm like, excuse you? And she just, and so I just look at her and I'm like, crazy bitch. So then I move him a little forward, right? And me and him are talking, and the lady in front is paying, and she's already about to walk off. She hasn't even walked off yet from grabbing her receipt from the person. And I see my son again go forward. And this time he looks back. And I'm like, oh, hell no. So I grab her cart and I move it forward. And I said, excuse you. Do you not see him? Do you not see my giant son? Like, what's wrong with you? Excuse you. Excuse you. And she's just, and I said, what? You don't hear me? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? What? Excuse you. She was kind of complaining that not enough lines were open. So it's not one of those things where it's like so she didn't understand. No. Okay. Again, she's just like, and I'm like, oh, okay. My son just like looks at me and he goes to the front because we are starting to now get our stuff rang up. She starts to like mush all of my stuff on the belt so she can put her stuff. And the gentleman who is ringing us up tells her, oh, just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. And she's like, I don't have a moment. I've been waiting. You guys take too long. I don't have a moment. Thinking that people don't got lives and shit. What's the point of having all these having all these cash registers if there's no one on them? You guys get paid. And I'm just looking at her, and I said, don't touch my stuff. Don't touch my stuff. Technically, it's not your stuff. It's the store stuff. And so I literally am right there so that she don't touch my stuff, because she won't touch me. She's like making sure that she don't touch me. but I'm making like she won't, like, don't touch my stuff. So I'm like right there, right there, so she can't put her stuff, and she's just looking at me. And then she just grabs her like few items that she did put on and goes to another line that's opening. So she had me messed up. I hate those type of people who feel so entitled to do all that. And when I moved her freaking cart right back to her, it hit her little panta, and she like made a face like, that was twice. She shouldn't even got away with the second one, but that was twice. So I feel like I only really like break my character when it has to do with my babies, because people, or my husband, because that lady in Vegas, when she wanted to get stupid with my husband, where it's just like, for what? Like why? Like why? Like why do people want to be so disrespectful and like really not like mind their own business? Like mind your own business. Like if you are not minding your own business, you don't have enough going on in your life. And I feel like lots of people now are getting more comfortable with this like social media and being bold with people, that they really forget that there is people who really are about that life, that will be like, okay, what you say, you know? And I feel like people really are comfortable with like being keyboard warriors, where like they really forget there's real life out there. Like you can't talk to people crazy like this. Like there's not a screen. There's no screen here. Like, get the rice. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then when we came home, my son was like all proud. Like, you should have seen mom. She was so mad. I got like kudo points, but I don't like really getting like that, because you never know. It could go either way, you know? I need some good tips. After almost 11-year marriage, I need to spice things up. Buy an outfit, try new positions, play with toys, dress up, wear something like, ooh, revealing. Maybe don't wear anything under a dress. Push up against him randomly here and there. Maybe like give him kisses in areas that you normally wouldn't give kisses. Maybe pop up in the shower, do a nice like hello, do a little dancey dance, send a risky picture while he's out, maybe running an errand, maybe send a nice little video of what's waiting for him when he gets home. Maybe when you guys are driving and he's wearing shorts. I say shorts because shorts are sometimes easier access. Give him a handshake. Maybe do something that you haven't done before that will make him be like, what are you doing? Like, what here? And you're like, yeah, here. Why not here? We're doing this right now. You're like, yeah, why wouldn't we? How would you deal with in-laws that don't put in any effort in being in your kids' lives? Now, if they want to be a shitty grandparent, let them be a shitty grandparent. I feel like you can't force that relationship, because your kids are not dumb. I feel like we don't give our kids enough credit of what they might not already see, you know? And that's like, even when I read my diary too, there's a lot of things where it's like, you're not dumb, you know? And where I talk to my kids a lot too, they just say things where I'm like, oh my God, that's like, what? And I feel like that's something that you shouldn't force. It should just be something that comes naturally. Like, have you ever forced yourself to be around somebody that you know doesn't want you around? It's uncomfortable. So why would we want to put our kids through that? You know what I'm saying? So if they don't want to make the effort, then that's it. Because you're gonna keep forcing something. And who is it for? Who is it for? Is it for you? Because your parents don't want it. And if you have to like force to take your kids out there or whatever, like it's not even like genuine. So like, you really want your child to be around something that's not genuine. You want to surround your kids around genuine love, like nothing that's forced, genuine love. Before, I would like force relationships, you know, and then I start noticing, like, God forbid anything were to happen, I know that I would not be able to rest in my grave. These people being around my kids, because I'm the one who's forcing it. Like, they're not gonna, like, they don't want that genuine connection. They ain't calling up to see how my babies are doing. I'm the one making the effort. I'm the one like, oh, hey, I'm gonna take you over there. I'm the one doing it. So I wouldn't be like, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to rest. So now I only have people around my kids who it's genuine, like who are genuine, like where I don't have to force it. You want to be around my kids? Nice. So I feel like just because they are our grandparent, they are our parents, our children's grandparents, we shouldn't have to force anything. It should just be genuine. Because when you, and it sounds stupid, right? Like, oh, you don't vibe with your grandchildren. It's just one of those things, like, you can just tell who are the favorites and who are not, and who they want to check up on and who they don't. And that is not on us. That is not, they should not put that on us and be like, well, it's because you don't let me, or what. You don't make an effort. You don't make an effort. Like, you really don't make an effort. Like, how do you make an effort? You call for birthdays? Do you check on to see how they're doing? Or do like, I have to report all this stuff? Because if it's genuine, then you would just do it. You would just go out of your way and do it. Like, when someone loves you, you don't have to tell them how to love you. It is what it is. So I would just say, don't force it, love. Like, for real, honestly, don't force it. Kids are not dumb. They know who wants to be around them and who doesn't. And even if the child is like really happy, and I'm not even saying about the grandparents where it's like it's just really hard for them to show love and they're just like even those grandparents make an effort. I'm talking about the ones who like don't, and who are just like stone cold. You don't want people like that around your babies. I'm gonna end it with this. No questions, but that suggestion about putting pillows under you while Rudy rails you. I tried it, girl. Life-changing. Life-changing. I'm telling you, the pillow technique is awesome. So I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for spending time with me and getting ready with me and dyeing my hair. If you guys have any questions that you guys would like me to answer in my next question and answer get ready with me, please leave them down below. If you guys feel like, oh, I don't want anyone to see my question, then you can just send it to me on Instagram, and I would love to do that for you guys. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me, and I will be having a story time shortly after this. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.